the CEO, Old Mutual Investment Group, Ms. Diane Radley, to my left. The CIO, Old Mutual Investment Group, Mr. Highwall George, to her left. The CEO, Old Mutual Properties, South Africa, Mr. Peter Levitt, directly opposite me to the far right. The co-founders, UFF Agri Fund, Mr. Erwin Boland and Mr. Duncan Vick, next to him. My colleagues in the executive management team of the NSIA, our esteemed managing director, Mr. Uche Oji, and our chief investment officer, Mr. Hans-Peter Ackermann. Members of the press, who would be on the level below us. There's a live feed from here. I should have actually said so we need to behave ourselves. Other stakeholders here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I actually didn't introduce myself at the beginning. I'm Stella Ojepo Onyejeli. I'm an executive director of the NSIA and also the chief risk officer. It is my privilege to welcome you all to today's agreement signing ceremony between the NSIA and the Old Mutual Investment Group on the one hand, and NSIA and UFF Agri Asset Management. It has taken well over a year of tireless and meticulous effort to get to this point. We are really pleased and very excited that all the hard work and dedication from the various teams have paid off. In the course of today's proceedings, we will be signing sets of agreements which are the culmination of our efforts and which will stimulate investments in the agriculture and real estate sectors of the Nigerian economy. We are especially pleased that all the parties are present at this signing. Mr. Uche Oji, along with members of the NSIA executive management team, will execute the agreements on behalf of NSIA and its subsidiary companies. Mr. Peter Levitt will do the same for the Old Mutual Group on the real estate agreement side, whilst the agreement execution for the agricultural vehicle will be done by Ms. Diane Radley of Old Mutual and Duncan Vink of UFF. I will now hand over to Mr. Uche Oji, who will provide further context to today's agreement signing. Once again, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Stella. Let me start by thanking the Honorable Minister of Finance. I know how much of an effort it took to have you come to this event, and a lot of work you've done in the background to continue to encourage and push it and approve it. So for that, we thank you. And also want to welcome you to NSIA, and your first visit to NSIA. Offices are very small, so that's a message.
It's good. Works.
But I also want to start by thanking Diane Radley for and Hal George, CEO and CIO of Old Mutual, for the work that's been done. It's been a long journey for us, I think, to get here. It's been over a year at least of consistent work on this. But also, I want to commend the work done by everybody on the team on both sides to put the agreements both for the investment company and the management company together. I would say that the NSIA is now in its fourth year of a 5-year infrastructure development plan, and as we have described, there are three pillars to what we are doing in infrastructure. The development plan covers 15 broad areas of investment, but the initial focus is on 5. And those 5 are roads, healthcare, agriculture, real estate, and power. And the way we have been approaching them have been to develop co-investment partnerships, and this is the first one that has come together in this form, where we have both an investment company registered offshore and a management company registered offshore and onshore. So to that extent, this is landmark. And also, I want to commend the faith shown in the economy of Nigeria by the Old Mutual Group in providing matching funds to get this started with NSIA, and the commitment to then further on raise the capital to get us to $500 million for real estate and $200 million for agriculture. We have seen significant level of interest in the economy, and we are also very careful about the partners that we pick. And to that extent, we're happy that we have found like-minded partnership in Old Mutual as well as NSIA. This morning, we also want to thank the leadership of the country, and particularly the Minister of Finance, who has ably continued to guide the NSIA through for providing policies that have made it quite easy for us to get to this point. As you can see, the country is open for business. The economy, in my opinion, it's an incredible buying opportunity in some ways at the moment, and then the investment opportunity continues to remain compelling. And to that extent, we hope that the two SPVs that we're setting up, the two vehicles we're setting up together today, and co-investment funds we're setting up today, will continue to find opportunities to invest both in agriculture and real estate. The payoffs for these investments will be felt partly from with immediate short-term gains, as we see with regards to job creation, and in the future with regards to direct foreign investment ventures over the long term, with increased foreign exchange earnings for the country. What we confirm by signing on the lines today is that we're all betting on a positive future for the Nigerian economy, and we look beyond the headlines of today, and saying collectively that with investments such as these, Nigeria's future will usher in positive economic growth and well-being for all. And so with that brief remark, I want to thank you all, and I hope that I'll hand over to the Minister to give us a welcoming address. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, distinguished Senator, Honourable Babangida, the Chairman of the Finance Committee, friends from Old Mutual, and the NSIA team. I just want to start off by saying what a pleasure it is to be here today at this ceremony. I'm not here just to witness the ceremony. This is actually my first time, as Uche has said, of coming to NSIA. But for me, this is a real milestone, because one of the things we had set out from the beginning was that we needed to reposition NSIA to align with the objectives of this administration. And we've recognised, I think all of us, that infrastructure is the one thing that has really held back Nigeria's growth potential. And we needed, therefore, to align NSIA's investment process and investment pipeline with infrastructure. And I want to commend the management led by Uche for that shift. It's not easy. Having come from that background, I know it's not easy to shift the whole investment focus of a team toward, and very quickly, within 6 to 7 months, to actually reposition where NSIA wanted to go and focus on infrastructure in line with the federal government's objectives. Now, from a policy perspective, we've recognised the fact that one of the reasons, as I said, why we haven't grown is that we've consistently underinvested in our infrastructure. And that's what has made us uncompetitive, even though we have considerable upside opportunity. Now, the infrastructure gap is such that we know that even if we spend 100% of our budget on infrastructure, we cannot meet the gap, so we need to attract and mobilise private capital. And NSIA is one of the key channels through which we can attract private capital into Nigeria, bringing inward investment. And for me, private capital does two things. It complements government capital, but more importantly, private capital brings a discipline with it. It's not just money, it's a discipline, because it's money that's expecting to earn a return. It's money that comes with certain corporate governance. It's money that comes with certain ways of doing things. And that provides a benchmark against which I can then measure the use of public money. So for me, there are two key benefits. And so ceremonies such as today, I don't see it as a ceremony, I see it as the beginning of some really serious work. Is really very pivotal for Nigeria, and that's why I said to Uche, I have to be here in person. It's very important. We're signalling to the outside world we're very serious. We're not just talking the talk, we're going to walk it too. Everywhere that private investment wants to come in, we see ourselves as we need to be an enabler, we need to get better at doing things like this, and we need to do more of them. So I'm very, very excited about the two focuses, agriculture and real estate, both absolutely essential. I think there's a lot of upside in both of those sectors, and we certainly need to have proof of concept on certain big projects. We need to de-risk some of these opportunities, and that's where NSIA comes in, bringing co-investment. I, as the Minister, certainly want to be driving more money into the NSIA, channeling these type of partnerships. So I want to thank everybody that's worked on this. I want to really congratulate you. It's groundbreaking. It's new for us. and we're very excited about it, and we have very high expectations. But we expect this to just be one of many that we will do. I like the lean team, lean works, and it's absolutely in line with where this government wants to go, which is about efficiency, and it's about doing things properly. And so we really hope that we're going to learn a lot from this partnership, and it's going to be enriching on both sides. So I want to thank you all for the effort that has clearly gone into putting this together, and I want to really wish everybody well, because we're joint investors, so we're all seeking alpha together. But I'm very convinced that as we begin to develop the pipeline of actual transactions, more and more of these type of partnerships will come in, and I really look forward to a strong relationship with the Old Mutual Group and with NSI. So thank you very much. I congratulate all of you that have worked on this, and I look forward to the first quarterly report. Absolutely.
No pressure. Thank you.
Okay.
Senator.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chairman, House Committee on Finance, the Honourable Minister of Finance, Trade and Investment, member of the Governing Council of NSIA, Managing Director of NSIA, representatives of Mutual Investment Group, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great pleasure not only to be invited to the agreement signed as of Congress of Nigeria, real access between SIA and all mutual group, but also to be organized to make a brief special speech on this occasion. I would like to use this medium to commend the leadership of NSIA for initiating this laudable venture which seeks to translate the Buhari administration agenda for job creation, provision of affordable housing to Nigeria as an entity. As a senator of Federal Republic of Nigeria, I must draw the attention of NSIA to remain committed to implement best practices with regard to management independence, accountability, corporate governance, transparency, and timely report of performance as provided in the enabling legal regime. The legislature, that is the National Assembly, will continue to discharge its oversight function over the implementation of this venture and the other related activities of the authority to ensure that the realization of this noble objective behind the Republic of Nigeria. I wish you all the best, and once more I congratulate you on this project. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning. I stand with existing protocol. On behalf of my team at Old Mutual Investment Group, I thank you very much for hosting us in Abuja today on this very, very special occasion, which marks a significant deepening of our relationship and commitment, not only to Nigeria, but to the African continent as a whole. Firstly, I'd like to start by thanking our investment partners, the NSIA, as well as UFFM, who we look forward to working with. Today marks the start of what I consider to be a very formidable partnership between Old Mutual Investment Group and the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority. We're very honoured to be entering into this relationship where all parties share the common vision of improving Nigeria's food security and promoting rural economic development, in addition to the significant investment opportunities presented by the commercial, real estate and agricultural sectors on the continent. As Old Mutual Investment Group, we currently manage in excess of $48 billion and are notably the largest asset manager of real assets in Africa. We have a strong belief in both agricultural as well as real estate investment opportunities across the African continent and the significant investment potential for both local as well as international investors, and hence the partnership in country is very important to us. We continue to be focused on expanding our African footprint, driven by our commitment to the sustainability of both our clients' investments and Africa's economic development. As a developing country, Nigeria's real estate and agricultural sectors are evolving probably at a fairly significant pace at this point. For us, the opportunities in those sectors are reinforced by economic drivers based on a number of socio-economic factors, such as high population growth, poverty, unemployment, as well as the rapid urbanization that we see in the cities of Nigeria. For example, increased employment is created in the construction sector of the economy, as the real estate market opens up to greater investment inflows, while increasing populations across the continent leads to significant demand in agricultural produce. And for us, that is the investment story. It's about consumer demand driving the need for driving returns on investments that clients make. And often internally we like to refer to it as driving decent returns decently. We trust our partners in Nigeria and believe that with them the broader Old Mutual Emerging Markets Group will facilitate greater investment into Nigeria. And I was very pleased when Uchi raised power, roads and healthcare infrastructure, which we also have a deep invested interest in. We believe that the NSIA's very significant local knowledge of the real estate and agricultural sectors, combined with OMIG's experience in real asset investing and UFFM's in-depth knowledge of the agricultural sector, will allow for a partnership of unparalleled expertise.